beautiful souls. Lori Rising here, Galactic and Embodiment Guide. Happy Sagittarius Full Moon. Are we ready for the transcendence and expansion that is absolutely rolling our way? Oh, this full moon is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter loves to go big. And after we've just moved through the energies that have presented themselves, we are ready, we are primed, we are prepped, because you know that you are the deepest resource for anything that shows up in your experience, because you've been doing your work. I know, because you're here. So you've been doing your work, and you are now living the results of the enlightenments, the epiphanies, the alchemization and manifestation, the answers that appear through your intuitive channel, through your telepathy, the energy and light that guides you in deep, expansive ways, and the transformation of those core wounds, the pain, the trauma, the defense, the contrast, and the duality that keeps us in this state of disconnect. I'm right, you're wrong. Really using the contrast and duality as a point of understanding to actually transcend you further and further into unity consciousness and love frequency is what they're there for. And they really help us know what we don't want. But when we focus on what we don't want, we raise that frequency. So that's just, like I said, the jumping off point for us to imagine, visualize, use our creator energy in what we want, what we have not experienced yet, in that highest timeline and vibration. Everything begins with energy. We are knowing this more and more, and wow, the power in it. It's so good. So there's lots to talk about today. The energies are absolutely amazing and building because we are accelerating. Y'all feeling that? Let me know in the comments. We just are moving so quickly, and we're evolving quickly, which also means that we're moving through the shadow work and the transformation and the triggers and the planetary support of that internal excavation. We're moving through that quicker too. We were just chatting about this in my membership community yesterday, how it's almost like feeling this pinging. It's like ping, ping. It's just going so fast. And that's really our multidimensionality. That's how we came to experience our light body within this physical world. We came here to live in ease and acceleration and vibration. The body is the conduit to the biggest source of revelation and manifestation. Okay, so if you are new here, welcome. Like I said, I'm Lori Rising. I am a star channel, an embodiment guide, a trauma-informed healing artist of lifetimes, and I am our biggest cheerleader into our birthright of magic. Magic, magic, magic. This Sagittarius full moon wants you to feel the magic. Ooh, it's so good. Yeah, we're going to get in. So definitely hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, like the video, share it if you're feeling support, and let me know what brought you here. Where are you on your ascension journey? I would love to dig in and feel it out a little bit more, because the community really brings the deepening of my channel. This happens in my in-person workshops and retreats. When the humans around me have open, inquisitive, and excited energy, the non-physical life comes in droves. And I can tell when those around me are hesitant because they're hesitant and the channel is slow. And then it will suddenly start to pick up, and then it gets vibrant and wild, and they have so much to say and share. Y'all, I mean, it's just amazing. Last night I was out on my land. It's so peaceful. It's so beautiful. Just falling deeply in love with this space that I'm creating to hold sacred circles eventually. and UFO came, hung out with me. I thought for sure, I was like, ooh, this is a physical encounter, because I have plenty of encounters with them in all the other senses all the time. And I am ready for the full physical encounter. And I do believe deeply in my cells that that is why I was guided to this land. So back to what we were talking about. Subscribe, because when I hit 1K subscribers, I'm going to give away a free 90-minute astrology and Akashic records reading that is worth $200, but so much more. Y'all, this will quantum leap you. I pinky swear promise. I watch the people that do these exchanges with me, and I watch their lives unfold in really elevated and incredible ways. It's just so good. And if you don't want to wait to see if that reading is for you, head on over to my hub, the Raw and Wild Hearts, and check out all of my programs. Okay, back to the full moon in Sagittarius. So it's at 13 degrees, which means it's conjunct the great attractor. And this comes from galactic astrology, which I am vibing with deeply. It's the study of deep space objects. And the great attractor is like this massive vacuum that brings in all of these galaxies, like sucks them in and has them moving at warp speed, like bending time and space. And what I feel into with this, especially conjunct the Sagittarius moon, is that it's the expansion in the unknown. So by activating our belief in the unknown, like check in with yourself. When I just talked to you about hanging out with a UFO last night, what did you feel in your body? Did you feel resistance? Did you feel excitement? Did you feel curiosity? Because when we have belief in the unknown is when the unknown appears. This is how we came to create. We did not come here to just react, which has been habitualized in our lives. And the veil disappears. This is the integrative consciousness that is happening in droves at this time. I love it so much. So what a special full moon as we move towards the summer solstice and towards just massive activation. Massive. It's just so beautiful. Okay, so back to the expansion of Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. Jupiter is going to expand anything that's in the field. So if you are doubling down in that defense, in that result of anger, in the triggers, in the victimhood, that's going to expand and probably be super uncomfortable. But if you are doing your work, even if you're in those triggers in shadow, but you're doing the intentional practice, you're being the creator and illuminator of the constant fluctuation, the ebb and flow. We are nature, we are cosmos. All is consciousness in different form. And when we realize that this experience is about the experiences, not about a flat line. It's about actually feeling these beautiful feelings that we get to have in the body. That includes all of them. The allowance instead of the resistance. You are going to elevate deeply on the other side. That's going to be the acceleration. Because when you stay in a state of resistance or suppression, that feeling, the trauma, the experience gets imprinted in your cells and creates a density in your cells. Your cells are actually the connection to all consciousness through photonic and plasmic light. But we cannot integrate the photonic and plasmic light that are pouring onto the planet if we have no space and fluidity within ourselves. Y'all, we are here to be fluid, to flow, to be adaptable, to be buoyant, to evolve. We're not finite. So when we get really honed in to the details of something, we actually move further and further away from the expansion and the energy that's available in the higher frequency or the transcendence of it. When we can get a bird's eye view and hold the desire and the dream in our imagination, in our visualization, and allow this beautiful co-creative experience to do its job, that's where the ease comes in. That's where the wholeness and the health comes in. That's how we find those places of alignment. And that's how it doesn't feel like work anymore, because it's just so much fun. It really is. And those habits of resistance run very deep. Know that when they kind of rear their head or they pat back on your soul or they peek back in a little bit, that's okay. Let yourself just be with it and flow into it, and have the trust that by doing that, no matter how far down you go, you're going to come back up. I'm going to talk about Pluto here, because Pluto is all about death and rebirth. It's not about death, it's about death and rebirth. So when anything dies off, there's always something that comes from it, right? Like even if you plant a garden and you don't use all of the vegetables, or you don't pick all of the fruit and the fruit comes to the ground, that becomes compost for the soil so that the new life can grow in deeper and stronger. So there's a purpose, there's a season, there's a reason. So watch it when you're getting so minute into details, because by doing that, you're narrowing your focus and you're missing out on everything that's tapping around you, that's trying to find a path in to help you and support you in deep ways. With Sagittarius energies, I want to talk just a little bit about the high frequency and low frequency. And the high frequency is that expansion. It's really, being open to all belief systems. It's the unity consciousness where there's not one right over the other. There's all of it, and there's a spectrum. When we truly understand and believe in a spectrum for everything in humanity, that's when we will all come together. That is that unity consciousness, where we can all have a different place on the spectrum. And yet when we hold what we are at our core, which is love frequency, as our North Star, then we can move through that contrast and duality. We can experience all of this journey to its fullest, right? When we have that love frequency and the best for humanity and community and care and benevolence and balance at the forefront of this world, y'all, I mean, we'll just be absolutely unstoppable. We're the biggest limitation of what humanity experiences. Nothing else is. It's us. It's our belief systems. It's our thoughts. It's our mindsets, because that becomes our reality. And then we just keep practicing that over and over and over. And we keep creating these ruts for people to just basically like fall into, because the dominant narrative and energy is what we tap into. So keep going, y'all. Keep going, because we are changing that. And I'm here because I want that to change in quantum ways. I want to lead. So the low frequency of Sagittarius that I want to talk about, it can be gaslighting. I want you to check in with yourself. Are you gaslighting yourself? And what came through for this is gaslighting yourself from your powers, your abilities, your telepathy. Are you still holding on to that programming that came through very deeply, especially when you were a kiddo, that magic isn't possible, that miracles were only shared in a book, that we aren't the ones creating the miracles, that the power is always outside of you in all of the systems, in the medical system, in education, in bank, in financial, in money? Check in with yourself, because when you stop gaslighting yourself about that and you realize that by doing this intentional work and by really magnetizing through your creator energy, your visualization, by being relentless in your response versus your reaction, by believing in the unknown and what you haven't experienced yet, truly in yourselves, you will be producing and experiencing miracles. You will be creating a reality that you had been told wasn't possible in that way. You had been told there was only one path to it, right? So watch for that, and definitely watch for gaslighting others. Are you still doing that? Are you still trying to control certain experiences or relationships in your life? And it could be coming from good intention because you don't want to hurt anyone. Yet that's actually more hurtful when A, you just don't even engage, you don't even get in the arena, or B, you're lying. You're using your words to create a power dynamic in the situation, and the energy truth is now known. Saturn is in Pisces, and the deeper Saturn goes into the Pisces, the more everyone's truth meter through energy is coming online. So really, when you consciously or unconsciously are operating in that type of power dynamic and control, you're only causing pain and hurt because that becomes the source of trauma in the circle and in that connection, because they know their cells, their body consciousness is sharing with them. We, for so long, have operated fully in our thinking brains and our reliance on word language. And words evoke emotion. And again, I'm going to go back to energy always comes before physicality. And now that Saturn is doing such a good job of helping us build the foundation of our spiritual connection, of our body consciousness and our innate navigation system, they know. So let's just move beyond that whole rigmarole that really creates extra time, stress, pain, and triggers for people. And let's just get right to the heart of it. So just feel into that. Jupiter is conjunct the North Node. We have so much great Taurus energy. We're at the end of the integration of Taurus as our destiny, which is our body consciousness and our inner resources. It is coming back to the safety and security within ourselves, which we had been looking outside of ourselves for, like I said, centuries, generations, for that safety and security. And now, as we remember that everything is consciousness and we're a part of all, we tap into those inner resources, into nature, into the cosmos, into the majesty of everything around us, into the life force. And we bring that in for a place of centeredness and strength. We get simple in order to hear through our senses and get the wisdom that has always inherently been within ourselves. And the more that we decrease the density of ourselves and those imprints and experiences and wounds, the more it just happens and appears for us. The more we move our body, the more our cells integrate the light codes and the wisdom that's always been there and deeply connecting to the light that's pouring onto the planet. That's our teacher. That's our activator. We are our biggest teacher, and the light is what supercharges us. Jupiter conjunct the North Node. This is a limitless destiny. The answers lie in that softness, in our return to ourself and our remembrance, in the sacred union of us with ourselves, of the deepest self-love that we can possibly find, because that is unshakable. When you love everything about you, everything about this experience, even the hardest things that threaten to take you down over and over and over, when you can find a reverence and honor for them, you're in that sacred union and you evolve. Also, the nodes are squaring Pluto, and this is really going through the end of August. That's when they start to go away. And if you've been doing your work, like me, you're actually a full yes on Pluto. For a long time, many of us were like, more Pluto. Oh my gosh, right? Because Pluto does a really good job of like really bringing things up that need to die off. And that can be painful when we've been so stuck in holding on to only what we've known or looking behind us in the past or in history. But when we get excited about the limitless potential and possibilities in the unknown, we want Pluto to come in and keep doing its job. So this will be easeful for you, and it's going to keep happening quicker and quicker when you've been doing this deep work. The soul's journey, the spiritual path, the alchemization, the alignment in your light activation in body. But if you haven't been doing your work, this can still be quite uncomfortable because Pluto is kind of like, keeps coming. So alchemize and integrate here. The end of Taurus, we're really bringing the best of what we've learned into the highest frequency for ourselves and creating a permanence in that so that that becomes easeful to tap into and we don't go back to those old habits and patterns that have been creating the unwellness, the dis-ease, the unwholeness, the mental anguish, the physical symptoms. Okay, so opportunity to practice. Pluto's bringing it. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is Uranus conjunct Mercury, which is super fun because this is not just truth in communication, but enlightenment in communication. This is the whole, it's like I just got all of the machine is working together and the machine is like this beautiful boundless flow. And so as the enlightenments and epiphanies come in, we have this desire to share in confidence, right? We have the desire to take the risk with the ideas, the innovations that are happening because we now have the trust in the process. When you can release the control of the outcome and you can trust the alignment of what you're feeling, no matter what the outcome is, it's always going to be what it's meant to be. It's always going to be divine. So it might not be exactly what you had thought it was going to be, but when you have an open energy and a yes to the unfolding, most of the time, if not all of the time, it's going to be way better and further than what your mind had held you to. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments. Does that make sense? Because this is our energy reality. We keep dropping deeper and deeper into it with the manifestation work, with the magnetization work. We're not bypassing. This is the true drop in of our feelings, our emotions, and our energy. They all go hand in hand. The physicality comes later. So we've got to keep coming in and beginning with who we really are. The limitless soul that happens to be in this body. We're going to be having just undeniable hits with this. So there's a softness, and kids are telling you, they're basically leading us to what we're capable of when we're moving into that expansion. And they're telling us through their emotions and their extreme, like, this does not feel right. But if we stay in the patterns of, okay, I'm going to bypass that though, because this is how it's always been and you have to do it this way. So just suck it up or, figure it out or whatever it is. I know it's probably not that harsh, but I want us to really notice how we're in those linear loops where we keep bypassing and we want kids to harden themselves, to normalize resistance, to bypass their feelings and what's coming up in their body consciousness when they're literally offering us this roadmap to, here's what's not working. What are you going to do about it? So I want you to listen to them with new ears, new senses, and new creator energy that makes world. Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to pioneer. We're here to begin new. We're here to innovate. And that's what we're moving into in the age of Aquarius. So Pluto's going to station finally completely into Aquarius in December of 2024. Feeling what's going down now, I'm like, oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to feel what's happening there. And I absolutely will, because this is divine as well. So this is the foundation that we're laying. Keep listening to the kids, because they don't have as much built up resistance as we do, but they're absolutely absorbing everything that we're putting out towards them from that place of resistance, which is why many of us have found ourselves in this deep soul's transformation, right? Disrupting those patterns and that conditioning that's been going on for generations. And then drop in and be like, how can I create this? We can create anything. We can have all new communities. We can have all new containers with how we move in this world. Like, so important that we I just got like transcend and get so much more expansive than all of the power that we put into the systems that absolutely are not working. And it really comes down to starting these new containers from the ground up, grassroots, maybe a couple families, maybe a community. And then the energy builds, because energy is currency. That is our deepest currency. And we are moving into places of light, frequency, and energy, far more than the reliance that we've had on the physicality and the density. Okay. Are you excited? I am excited. This is going to be such an amazing full moon. The energy is potent and powerful. Just keep rising up. Do it physically, right? Like, just go sit in the trees and look at the treetops and just feel yourself rise with that breeze, with the birds, listen to the sound frequency, and just be in that moment. Because y'all, we know everything is in the present moment, and we got hijacked from that, and we got put so deeply into the past and fear of the future. So let's just keep dropping in, keep softening. Where's that soft nervous system? Find it. Respond rather than react. Elevate and ascend. Let's see what the guides are sharing today. Funny. I was just talking about the trees, the wind, and the birds, right? And the first card is Spirit of the North, which is the earth element. Like, you are the earth. Connect with her life force energy. Share your burdens. Share the energies that aren't serving you. Literally feel them fall away from you and be absorbed by the earth. And the earth transforms the skewed part of that energy, the powerlessness in that energy, and brings all of your power back up through the soles of your feet, back up into your light, however you want to feel into that. Lay on the ground, put your hands down on the ground and just breathe, do breath work, get primal with the earth, change the energy, recalibrate your nervous system, cleanse your cells, and just be available. That's really where we're going. We have to stop forcing things, especially outcomes, and just open the energy up within your soul, ask for guidance and help, and notice, and just let it come. And it comes quicker and quicker. I know, because I do it. Okay, and then the next card is balance. And this is, we all have divine feminine and sacred masculine energies within us. We have androgynous energies, if you want to look at Virgo and Mercury. But when I always call this Shakti rising, and what we're learning, what we're realizing and experiencing now is when we drop into the divine feminine, into the stillness and quiet, which was what we were just talking about with the earth element, that's when we receive. And when we receive, Uranus and Mercury right now conjunct in Taurus, earth element, right? Nature, beauty, simplicity. So good. I hear nature right now as we're talking. When we receive that life force pulse through our bodies, and we receive the enlightenments and epiphanies and the ideas to move forward from the expansive energy instead of just the one way, the one path. We move forward in the sacred masculine energy. That's where that comes in. It comes in confidence, in the aligned action, in the inspired risk, in the trust of what will happen when we say yes fully to that inspiration and that alignment and that truth, our innate truth. And then the final card is Ivy. Ivy likes to come in a lot lately, and Ivy grows. It's strong. It's fortified. It's like doesn't take a lot of maintenance. And when you find this stillness within yourself, it actually doesn't take a lot of maintenance. But the benefits and rewards are flowing through in higher and higher activations. So Ivy moves out and it intertwines, it co-creates with other plants without taking them over and without them taking over it. And it basically creates this very symbiotic relationship. And I feel that right now as those soft nervous systems coming in and saying hello and moving further and further out into the world. And this can even be when we take those actions into creating new containers for humanity and we start to take them out further and further in the world. That's when these plants or people come in and they're like, yes, this is exactly what I was calling for a frequency match. This is what I want. Okay, thank you. So the last message is whatever your desires and dreams are, no matter how big they are from where you're at right now, because we're leaping in brand new ways, keep sharing them. Share them through your journal, share them in the earth, share them with others. Keep bringing that energy up because that's creating it. The physicality is actually supposed to be the easy part, right? That's supposed to just be the response of all of the energetic artistry. Okay, y'all. I was going to try to make this one a shorter one, and I don't think it is. So here we go. Let me know if you have questions. I'm here for support. Let me know how these energies landed for you. Comment below. We are just getting off the historic Mars-Pluto opposition, which really could have brought some things up for you with Pluto and Aquarius being humanity, friends, connections, higher technology. Mars and Leo being the self, your light, which got muted. If you want to know more about that, check out my last energy update. I'll hover it up here. It was only 14 minutes and people are loving it, very much resonating with that because it came in, it kind of slammed into us. And then we moved beyond when we dropped into Gemini season. But I think it's worth a listen. So check it out. All right, y'all. Thanks for being here with me. I so appreciate you. And until next time, don't forget to keep looking up.